prevented a few others from doing so. Over the years, the Weisses have donated 75 gallons of blood. The Red Cross thought so much of this, it featured the Weiss family on a national poster in 1980. Here's Julie Weiss back then and Julie now.
You just start coming and you come, and then when it's your turn, you just start doing it.
I know it was started by your grandfather, Morris Weiss, but give me a sense of why was it important? Why do it?
Well, just the fact that how many lives you can save. I mean, it's not hurting me any just to give a pint, and it's helping someone so much.
The Weisses donate blood several times a year, but always on the first weekend.
Ultraviolet light, the dyes often reveal subtle differences. Differences that tell the trained eye these are forgeries.
A small explosion rocked Mount St. Helens early this morning. This is the latest sign of life from the volcano. Instruments in the crater of the mountain recorded that small blast at 5:37 this morning. Then for the next couple of hours, small quakes shook the mountain. The mountain also burped up a bit of ash to put a light coating of the stuff on the town of Toppenish, 80 miles to the east. The mountain also rumbled some last night and spewed out some ash. Geologists say this activity does not necessarily mean that the mountain is going to become more active. Manuel Noriega's lawyers say the ousted general will build his defense in part on what Noriega calls the illegality of the U.S. invasion in Panama. The lawyers also say Noriega's trial will expose embarrassing details about Noriega's connections with the CIA. The White House continues to block probes into the CIA files because it says sensitive information is at stake. In East Germany today, the Communist Party leader Gregor Gysi proposed drastic moves to demilitarize Central Europe. Following a special party leadership meeting, Gysi says he wants both German states to cut their armies in half this year. He also wants to phase out all NATO and Warsaw Pact troops by the end of the decade. And Soviet Foreign Minister Edvard Shevardnadze concludes a meeting with Romania's new interim government tonight with a promise to provide economic aid. Meanwhile, unrest continues in Soviet Azerbaijan. Shiite Muslims there continue dismantling fortifications along the border to Iran. Shiite activists say they demand free travel to see fellow Muslims in Iran. A fire closed the main kitchen at the Oregon State Pen for a time yesterday. No injuries reported in that blaze. Firefighters had to use axes to break through a 3-foot wide wall to reach the fire. They put it out in just a few minutes. The cause is believed to be an electrical short, but it's under investigation. A state prison official fired last month for alleged marijuana use has been fined $500. Larry Roach pleaded no contest to a charge of possessing less than an ounce of marijuana. 18-year veteran Roach had been an assistant superintendent at the Oregon Correctional Institution. Protesters returned to a Gresham deli tonight to continue their demonstration about nude dancing. CJ's Center Stage features nude dancing as its entertainment. It opened for business last night. That establishment serves no liquor, just food and non-alcoholic drinks. Protesters say they will picket in shifts until they drive that business out of town. Well, it's no secret more and more people are becoming concerned about our environment. Recycling is on the rise all across the country. And now a local retailer is taking the lead in helping consumers become more earth-friendly. Ron Taylor explains.
Everyone looks at prices when they're grocery shopping. Now at Fred Meyer, there's something else to look for. These little blue and green stickers tell you if the packaging or product is earth-friendly, made of non-polluting ingredients or recyclable materials. It's a new program being promoted by Fred Meyer. Its goal?
To reduce solid waste and provide customers with choices on how to do that.
This is just the beginning. 100 products have been selected for the initial program, but more will come. When retailers as big as Fred Meyer talk, manufacturers listen. And by 1993, Fred Meyer wants all packaging of products it sells to be recyclable.
Facts are that there's 9,300 landfills in the United States, and within the next 10 years, half of those are going to be closing.
So what are we going to do with our garbage?
You're going to recycle it. You're going to reduce the consumption of it.
Being an earth-friendly shopper and recycler takes some extra work, but most people seem to think the effort is well worth the goal.
I think that we have a real problem with our waste disposal right now, and we need to find solutions, and I think it's great that Fred Meyer is taking the first step towards that.
It's a situation that you need to become a way of life for you to go ahead and recycle tin, glass, plastic, and things of that nature.
To find a list of the 100 earth-friendly products, look for the display in your local Fred Meyer store. Ron Taylor, the 10 o'clock news.
Recycling and being earth-conscious is also the goal of a number of groups out there. They are helping to take care of the solid waste problem by recycling Christmas trees. This is the drop-off site in the Brooklyn neighborhood in southeast Portland. There are many more across the city, some as close as your nearest Boy or Girl Scout troop. We encourage you to take your tree to one of those recycling drop sites. Don't try to burn it in your fireplace, and don't leave it sitting out in the street. Tektronix has begun talking to Sony of Japan about buying a profitable subsidiary. Tech spokesman says there are no plans to merge the companies, but Fletcher Chamberlain says the Grass Valley Group of California, which is owned by Tech and which makes TV equipment, could be swapped for a Sony company that sells tech products in Japan. A goodbye party was held tonight for Elena Vasenyov. She's that little Russian girl who was brought to Portland for cleft palate surgery that she couldn't get at home. Donations from dozens of people made the surgery and her stay here in Portland possible. The family returns home to the Soviet Union tomorrow, so this is the last chance for them, the donators, and the doctors to get together. Portland's first Rose Festival queen has died in California at the age of 98. Carrie Lee Chamberlain Wood was 15 when she was chosen as the first queen of the Rose Festival in 1907. Her father was Governor George Earl Chamberlain. She died 3 days after Christmas in a Glendora, California care center.
Don't settle for less, get the best.
Any distance can be too far. Yet how often do we remember those who lost their freedom to preserve ours? Now there is something you can do. Volunteers from all over the nation are joining the Disabled American Veterans Transportation Network and helping disabled veterans get where they need to go. For them, it means the difference between getting the help they need and complete isolation. Find out about it. Contact your local DAV Hospital Service Coordinator. Together, we can get them there.
Last month, Seattle's Evergreen Point Bridge opened unexpectedly. The accident killed one person and injured several others. Engineers recreated the accident today to find out what went wrong. Tonight, they have a clearer idea. Gail Jackson reports from Seattle.
The 520 bridge closed at 6 this morning, so two engineers with a national consulting firm could put the bridge's draw span through its paces. After daybreak, they performed the 18-step procedure used to test the bridge's electrical system without actually opening the span. Today, as on December 22nd, the day of the accident, something went wrong at step 10 of that dry run, and part of the bridge came up.
When they got to the 10th step, the bridge indeed malfunctioned again, which makes it much easier for them to be able to narrow down what's happened. They're in the process now of checking the voltage to the motors, and now they'll begin checking all the circuitry involved in that step.
Step 10 of the sequence is a bypass switch. It allows the motors of the east lift deck to be tested. But Department of Transportation officials say there's a short somewhere in the electrical system, sending power to the west lift deck, causing it to rise. The troubleshooters work to pinpoint the problem today. They'll eventually tell DOT how to fix it. The consultants are expected to make a number of recommendations, among them that traffic be stopped while the dry run tests are conducted. Tests like the one done on the day of the accident have been done every Friday morning for the last 18 years. That's expected to stop.
The reason that we've done them for the last at least 18 years was because this bridge takes so much traffic that it was initially designed so that we wouldn't have to interrupt traffic to do the test. Obviously, we've had a problem with that, so if that's part of the process to make this never happen again, then it would be reasonable to expect we wouldn't do them anymore.
The consultants will make a full report of their findings to the Department of Transportation.
Now, Oregon's latest bout of winter weather means good news for skiers. Most of Oregon's alpine ski resorts are finally open for business. The storm that crossed into Oregon last night brought high winds to the Oregon coast. It dumped a half a foot of new snow in the Oregon Cascades. Now, meteorologist George Steffen is chasing down a major storm that's moving onto the coast. He'll be here in just a moment.
Good evening. Tonight, See It Now devotes its entire half hour to a report on Senator Joseph R. McCarthy.
He was a pioneer.
We proclaim ourselves, as indeed we are, the defenders of freedom, what's left of it. But we cannot defend freedom abroad by deserting it at home.
He was controversial. He was a legend who influenced the world. Daniel J. Travanti is Edward R. Murrow.
Monday night at 8 on KPTV 12.
I like making Christmas cookies with Mom. I like seeing Santa.
Nothing gives me more pleasure than seeing the holidays through the eyes of our children. But every minute another third world child goes blind and loses hope of ever seeing their family again. The reason? Nutritional blindness. A lack of vitamin A that robs one child under the age of 6 of precious sight every single minute. And all they needed was this tiny capsule. A powerful megadose of vitamin A given twice a year. This miracle nutrient prevents blindness. And the cost? Just $1 a child. Helen Keller International provides these capsules to needy children. Your gift of $20 can save the sight of as many as 20 children. Won't you call and pledge your help right now? Every minute another child enters a world of darkness. It's Christmas time. Please, give them the gift of sight.
Well, there's a major blow shaping up on the Oregon coast, and meteorologist George Steffen's here to tell us about it. It's really gonna crash in on at Tillamook and some of the northern spots?
Entire Oregon coast, as a matter of fact, have seen gusts of wind in excess of 60 miles per hour already this evening, and higher gusts are expected. Quite a major storm moving into the entire Pacific Northwest. We also have a wind advisory posted for the Willamette Valley and the Portland metropolitan area. More on that in just a second. Right now, let's check our current conditions. Out at the Portland airport, we have mostly cloudy skies. Rain at it's moderate amounts, as a matter of fact, not light amounts. We've seen moderate rain for most of the evening. The temperature is at 54 degrees, pressure at 29.60 and rising. Relative humidity is 86%, and the winds are out of the south at 28 miles per hour, gusting to 37 miles per hour. Elsewhere around Oregon, Astoria reporting rain with 54 degrees. Winds are gusting to 55 miles per hour. Salem winds gusting to 48 miles per hour there with some rain. Medford 33 miles per hour with 51 degrees and some rain. Redmond cloudy skies with winds gusting to 25 miles per hour. And in Pendleton, skies are cloudy, 23-mile-an-hour gust of wind, but no rain in the last hour. Well, here are precipitation amounts around the Pacific Northwest as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. 24-hour totals, 36/100ths of an inch at the Portland airport, but we've seen at least that much in the 6 hours since 4 o'clock. 1.7 inches in Tillamook today. That was a 24-hour total. Once again, they've seen quite a bit of rainfall since that time, 4 o'clock this afternoon. 1.34 inches in Newport, 3/4 of an inch in North Bend. East side, not very much rainfall. The front is still offshore. We're seeing a warm southwesterly flow, and that's what's giving us all those precipitation totals. Now let's take a look at the next graphic, and if we can take a look at that. Lows last night, 47 degrees, very mild over the Pacific Northwest. In fact, the average high at the Portland airport, 44 degrees for this time of the year, so even our low temperature was above our average high, normal high for this time of the year. 49 degrees in Eugene last night, 36 degrees down in Medford. To the east side, 18 degrees in Baker, 22 degrees in Burns, 29 degrees last night in Ontario. High temperatures today, well, this afternoon, some very warm highs. In fact, 54 degrees at the Portland airport, 55. Now, 54 at the Portland airport is also the current temperature out at the Portland airport. The temperature in Pendleton, 58 degrees this afternoon, 37 in Baker, 50 in Burns, 38 degrees in Ontario. And we should point out this temperature in Pendleton of 58 degrees. That was or tied the record for the day today. So some very warm air moving up from the south. Quite a very active weather system. Now let's take a look at the statistics for the day. Once again, today's high was 56 degrees, the record being 57. Last night's low, 47 degrees, and 14 degrees was the record low for this date. Precipitation totals for the month of January, 71/100ths of an inch. That's about 1/3 of an inch below normal. Once again, those totals are as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. When we add in the rainfall after that time, we're going to see those totals above normal for the year. Notice the freezing level as well, 7,500 feet, and that means rain in the Cascades and not good news for skiers at all. Now let's take a look at tonight's satellite picture. Here is that weather system, very impressive indeed. The low center is back out in this area. The cold front trails right off the Oregon coast there, warm front far to our north. Now this system is going to move very slowly over the northwest corner of the state. It's going to drag over the southwest corner, and that means some very heavy amounts of rainfall overnight and early tomorrow morning there. But our range to taper off here in the local area over the next 12 to 16 hours or so. But what we're watching right now are for some very heavy winds. Still going to see those winds as the front is oriented almost north-south along the coastline. Let's take a look at the advisories and warnings we have up right now. There are high wind warnings posted for the entire coastal areas of Oregon and Washington. Offshore, we have storm warnings for the offshore waters. In the Willamette Valley, a wind advisory for winds 20 to 35 miles per hour tonight with gusts in excess of 45 miles per hour. And as I did mention, Salem has reported a gust at 48 miles per hour already this evening. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Now let's take a look at weather around the nation. Some snow showers over the northeast corner of the country. Sunny weather over Florida. Rain over the Gulf Coast states. Cloudy skies, or at least partly cloudy skies, over the Intermountain region. Sunny skies over the north, although it was very cold up there. And of course, we have that rainy weather over the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures over the United States today fairly mild. The flow is mostly west to east, and that, of course, keeps the cold air to the north. It was 57 in Atlanta, Georgia today. Very warm in Florida. 83 degrees at Miami Beach, and some records were set in Florida as well. Now let's check those forecasts. Very important tonight. There is a high wind warning for the Oregon coast for rain. Heavy at times. We're going to see highs once again very, very mild with readings between about 53 and 58 degrees. Once again, those winds could gust to 70 miles per hour, possibly 80 miles per hour on the Washington coastline. In the Willamette Valley, there will be rain at times with highs tomorrow, 53 to 58 degrees. South winds tonight, 15 to 35 miles per hour. But once again, we could see gusts in excess of 45 miles per hour. There will be a wind advisory posted through tomorrow morning. For the Cascades, occasional rain or snow showers. The snow level will bounce around quite a bit between 5,500 and 7,000 feet. Winds will be southwesterly at 20 to 35 miles per hour. For the Columbia Gorge, rain at times with highs in the low 50s. Central and eastern Oregon, mostly cloudy and some occasional rain. Highs tomorrow, 35 to 55, as we saw today. Quite a variance from the southeast to the northeast. And for the Portland metro area, there is a wind advisory in effect for tonight and tomorrow morning. Possibly heavy rain later again tomorrow as that next weather system moves on in. Tomorrow's high close to 53 degrees, tonight's low 48, and we do have a wind advisory once again in effect. The extended outlook shows rain for Tuesday, showers for Wednesday, dry conditions for Thursday. Highs will be between about 45 and 55. Lows could be a little bit cooler by Thursday as we finally start to see some of that cooler air move inland. And now let's check the ski report. Timberline Lodge reporting 5 inches of new snow. That was earlier today. Now it is raining at almost all the ski resorts around the Pacific Northwest and will continue to do so until tomorrow afternoon. Ski Bowl, no new snow. 9-inch base, 33-inch base at Mount Bachelor. Willamette Pass is closed, I should point out, but they do have 19 inches of a base total there. So it was good news for skiers. They're going to have to wait till the first part of next week to see some more significant snow.
Now, any chance that some of that rain we're going to get early in the week is going to mix with that 32-degree low and give us anything
Probably
adverse?
not. We're looking for the skies to clear partially, the rain to taper off, and then we'll start to really cool off.
Great. Thanks a lot, George. Now we turn to sports and Phil Cassidy.
Yeah, Blazers got a challenge tonight down in Sacramento, but they were up for it and they won tonight down there.
All right, scores and highlights coming up in just a moment.
Want to be more Italian? You start with the walk. Automatically, you're saying things like, yo, absolutely.
Brought to you by Tony's Frozen Pizza.
A real slice of Italian life.
Thomas & Ford has brand new 1990 Ford Escorts and Rangers at incredibly low prices.
That's right. Get a brand new 1990 Escort for only $57.88. Or want an automatic Escort? Just $59.88. And if you want a pickup, drive home a 1990 Ranger for only $59.88. Hurry, it has to be first come, first serve. We have only 75 at these prices. Plus, we offer financing to anyone. Remember, if you don't come see me today on these low prices, I can't save you any money.
What's the reaction to Dairy Queen's latest sale?
Calling all cars.
For just 99 cents, you can get either a Blizzard treat, 2 hot dogs, or a single burger with lettuce and tomato. So hurry into your Dairy Queen store for the Nines Are Wild 99-cent sale. You'd be nuts not to.
We treat you right.
Tuesday night on TB12.
I am the last guy in the world you want to mess with.
He was an uncommon thief.
You'll be putting down 2-3 scores a month.
Then he connected with the wrong crowd.
You don't know from one day to the next whether you're going to be killed, go home, or get busted.
Now, his only profession is survival.
You don't want to work with me? What's wrong with you?
James Caan, Tuesday Weld, Thief, Tuesday night at 8 on KPTV 12.
After knocking off the Jazz last night, the Blazers pick up a road win at Sacramento. Portland over the Kings tonight, 124-121. They hold off the Kings late. Jerome Kersey had a pretty good game tonight with 17 points. Clyde Drexler with 21 points after only 6 points in the first half. Blazer bench